For 7 years, from the walls of Jericho to the cedar forests of the north, Israel fought. Now the bronze weapons are stacked. The camp rests in the quiet after a long campaign. When the fighting stops, the text does not push forward into the division of the land. It pauses, and it counts. Before recording a single name west of the Jordan, the accounting reaches back east of the river, to the battles fought before the crossing. The text anchors the current victory in the legal and historical precedent set by the campaigns that came before. It names Sihon, king of the Amorites, who ruled from the Arnon gorge, and Og, king of Bashan. The commentator Malbim observes the specific title the text gives Moses in this moment, Eved Hashem, servant of God. These eastern victories fell outside the initial boundaries of the commanded land. The title acts as legal authorization, proving Moses acted entirely as an instrument of divine command. The Torah uses this exact same title for Moses at the moment of his death, confirming his unchanged standing. Moses struck these kings and assigned their territory. The conquest east of the river was legitimate, commanded, and fully assigned because the leader executed the divine will. Then the geographical focus pivots to the lands west of the Jordan, spanning the full territory from the Lebanon Valley in the north down to the Bear Mountain rising toward Seir. The Malbim draws a sharp distinction in the phrasing here. This is a list of the kings Joshua struck, not a record of the cities Israel permanently settled. Several of the kings named here ruled cities that will appear again in the next generation, still contested and unconquered. The chapter acts as a permanent ledger of broken thrones, rather than an administrative map of occupied territory. The list begins with the walls of Jericho falling in silence and the burning hillside of Ai. It recites the 5 southern kings who originally marched on Gibeon: Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, and Eglon. The count continues through the kings of the Shephelah, naming Gezer, Debir, and Geder. It concludes the southern accounting with the king of Makkedah, the cave where 5 kings were dragged out and brought beneath the boots of Israel's commanders. Each name marks a specific historical confrontation, ending in total submission in the morning light. The recitation moves into the hill country, listing the fallen kings of Bethel, Tappuah, Hepher, and Aphek. It turns to the northern coalition that fought at the waters of Merom, naming Hazor, Madon, Shimron, and Akshaph. The list finishes by naming the kings of Tanach, Megiddo, Kadesh, Jokneam, Dor, Gilgal, and Tirzah. These final names represent the complete dismantling of the massive, unified northern military structure that stood against Joshua. All the kings, 31. The text states the stark numeral at the end of the list, like a stone at the head of a grave. The Malbim points out that royal power was the central organizing principle of Canaanite resistance. The king was the linchpin who assembled the troops and negotiated the alliances. Breaking the kings dismantled the unified military infrastructure opposing Israel's God, regardless of the localized skirmishes that would follow. This chapter serves as a structural bridge. Chapter 11 states the land rested from war, and chapter 13 opens with God telling an aging Joshua that very much land remains to possess. 31 kings fell. The thrones sit empty, yet vast stretches of territory remain unpossessed. At Gilgal, the ark stands still, and the soldiers rest in the quiet aftermath of a long war. The campaign of broken thrones is definitively over. The slower, painstaking work of tribal inheritance is only just beginning.